What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday. News to catch up with from the week. I went to see Pearl Jam on Thursday night, and I interviewed a couple of the band members, Jeff Ament, the bass player, and Mike McCready, the guitarist. And band was amazing. You guys know that I'm a huge Pearl Jam fan. Got to meet Eddie Vedder. Saw my good friend Matt Cameron, who is just got nominated for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Soundgarden, which is really exciting. Congratulations to them. That's amazing. That's so cool. The Pearl Jam video, I would say, will probably be out maybe later this week or so. Just have to finish editing it. Yosho Stefan, amazing guitarist that plays in the what they call gypsy jazz style. Amazing German guitarist. Had an interview with him, and if you haven't gotten a chance to check that out, definitely check it out. Our sale for this week through next Friday, I'm bringing back one more time my complete Beato method, which is all 6 of my courses. What courses are there? Music theory for songwriters, that's pretty self-explanatory. The Beato book interactive, which is my music theory course. It's got hundreds of it's got an interactive PDF with tons of video lectures on music theory and sound examples. It's very, very dense. Then my ear training program, which has 80 video lessons and hundreds of interactive training modules, along with a 27-page booklet that goes with it. The beginner guitar course. These are all video courses, though. Even some of them are video courses with a like the ear training has these training modules that go with them. Beginning guitar course is just what it says it is. It's a complete method of how to start from beginner, how to hold a pick, how to hold your guitar, how to play basic chords, strumming patterns, things like that. And then my Arpeggio Masterclass. That is has in-depth videos of how to master arpeggios across the fingerboard. It's got tons of PDFs and tabs, and all these have tablature in them. So, in case you're wondering, a step-by-step guide of learning arpeggios. We'll talk about some stuff like that because we're talking about chord inversions today. I'm going to talk about that, but chord inversions and arpeggios are related. This will be related with ear training. And then my Quick Lessons Pro, which is a 5-hour course, which I break down my Instagram and YouTube shorts, where I do lessons on them, and that's more of like a mid-level guitar course. So all 6 of those courses for $109. It's a great deal. If I do say so myself, a great chance to get all of them. Somebody says, please interview Bono. I would love to interview Bono. I'd love to interview Edge. I don't have any idea how to get in touch with those guys. It's so weird. Some of the people that I interview, you make connections to them through different ways. I mean, some people are friends with people that I've known for 30 years, But if you don't know anyone that's connected to the people, it's really hard to because you can't really go through the management. It's difficult to do that to set things up. Anyways, I just I thought that was so that's an interesting one. Jack White interview. Now I have met Jack and trying to make an interview happen. And Pete Townsend and I have talked about doing that. So I'm looking in the comments here of people. These are things that will happen, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about chord inversions. Chord inversions are really important for basically for how to connect chords, for voice leading, stuff like that. But what is a chord inversion? A chord inversion is depending on how many notes are in a chord. If it's a triad, which is a 3-note chord, you have three different versions of the three notes, three different orders. And the bass note of the chord tells you what inversion it's in. If the root of the chord, which is the name that it's called, let's say you got a D major chord, right? We have this D major chord here. But if I take just the 1, 3, 5 of the chord, so that is D, F sharp, A, those three notes. The next inversion of that chord would be with the third in the bass. So this has the root in the bass. That's D. The next one would have the third in the bass. So that's a reordering of the chord. Third, fifth, root. So this is root, third, fifth, root, third. Okay, so those are the three inversions. This is called root position with the root in the bass. First inversion has the third in the bass, which is the note F sharp, which is right there. And then the second inversion, in case you ever wondered what these notes were, I'm playing A, D, F sharp. That's a second inversion D major chord. So where inversions are cool are if you played a thing like this. Okay, that's a song Better Man by Pearl Jam. That just popped into my head. I wasn't planning that. I was thinking, what's a song that starts with an inversion? It starts with the first inversion, D major chord, right? I said a first inversion has the third in the bass, which is no F sharp. Well, here's F sharp, A, D. Okay, so Eddie Vedder wrote this back in the 1980s, actually, and Pearl Jam did it on their third record, Vitology. And it starts with the first inversion, D major chord, right? There's your D major. And it goes to a first inversion, E major chord, right? E major. As a matter of fact, all the chords in Better Man in the verse, first inversion, F major chord, first inversion, G major chord. So Pearl Jam uses tons of inversions. And if the chords aren't inverted, many times the bassist, Jeff Ament, will play the third in the bass. Or sometimes he'll play even different notes in the bass. There's a great song called Garden. It's off the first record. That's one of my favorite Pearl Jam riffs. Now in the chorus, I will walk with my hand. So it's A minor, G, D, then the then Jeff Ament plays into your God, to your God. He plays the to your garden on a stone. So he plays that the second of the A minor. Beautiful sound, and it gives it kind of a haunting with that non-chord tone in the bass. But that's a type of inversion as well. That would be like an inverted minor add 9 chord. That would be an inverted chord like that. All right, so that him playing that ninth in the bass or second in the bass is also a form of inversion. So a lot of their songs use chord inversions. Now, how do you learn the inversions? Like, what's the way? I did this one on D major. So we'll just take a simple D major chord here. So you got the root position, first inversion, second inversion, root position. But what I like to do is I like to go up sets of 3 strings. So the way that I learned how to play inversions was to first learn this first inversion. We'll just start with D major. And then on the same set of 3 strings, I'm going to play this same chord there, F sharp, A, D, but it's here, F sharp, A, D. So root position, first inversion, second inversion, and then it goes back to first inversion. Well, what else do you do? Not only do you hold the chords, you arpeggiate them, right? So that you really start, so you get them on your fingers. Okay, so that would be on the inner set of strings, the A, the D, and the G string. There's actually a set of inversions that's on the low strings. It's right here. This is like an E chord shape, but I'm starting with the note A in the bass. So that is a second inversion. Actually, you could do first inversion with F sharp in the bass. So second inversion, or I'm sorry, first inversion, second inversion, root position, first inversion, second inversion. Barely have enough frets up there, and that's up in the that's root position again. Okay, so those are the ones on the low string. These are the ones that I would practice. I would just actually do that. There, 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 there. Then I go to the next set of strings. I go, so I'm going second inversion, root position, first inversion. Then I go root position, first inversion, second inversion. Then I go on this set of strings, and I go first inversion, second inversion, root position, and then I go on this set of strings, second inversion, root position, first inversion. They work like a tape loop. Now, all these are in my Arpeggio Masterclass. They're part of my Beato book. They're part of the ear training program, because what we learn is we learn how to hear them. How do you know when a chord's in inversion? Well, you just learn to know what the sound of it is. And why do people use inversions? Because it makes your songs interesting, right? There's just so many songs that use inversions. So let's say I want to go A, D, E, A, 1, 4, 5, 1. Well, I could go, instead of using all root position chords, I could go root position A, first inversion D, first inversion E, which is the same as, okay? I could go first inversion A, first inversion, a root position D, I'm sorry, root position, first inversion, root. So understanding these are the basis to learning not only how to hear chord progressions, right? If you're trying to learn the song Angie. Right there, that's a first inversion E7 chord that Keith Richards uses. It's in so many songs. So many songs use chord inversions. They use them for voice leading purposes, right? If you go Blackbird, right? That's a first inversion G chord, and then first inversion G major, A7, D7, so Blackbirds, thousands of songs use chord inversions. The other thing that chord inversions are great for is to learn your neck. Okay, so when I'm playing, If I play that D major chord and I want to play it all over the neck, I go from this root position, or this second inversion, D major, to this second inversion. So I'm seeing that chord shape, that chord shape, that chord shape. This is kind of like the CAGED system. How many of you have heard of the CAGED system? The CAGED system is basically how you follow chord shapes, okay? But to me, it's more effective to use these arpeggio shapes. So right there, I'm just looking, I'm seeing all those chord shapes of D major. There, I see D major there, D major there, D major there, D major there, D major, D, 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 D. So every chord I know everywhere on the neck. You guys see me do these spread triads as well, and I do those in inversions, right? If I take A minor, so here's a root position A minor spread triad. So the root, fifth, third. That's the first inversion spread triad with a third in the bass. Second inversion, root positions, first inversion. So if you're, and this would be second inversion. Right? So to me, that's a beautiful sound. I just love that. I just love that. I'm just adding one note in front of each one. I just added a leading tone in each one. Beautiful sound. So I just one extra note, just so I had little 4-note groupings, right? Well, you can actually do an upbeat. So I just to resolve it, I did F major to E major, which would be like more of like we call that more like a Neapolitan sound. To me, it's really beautiful to do that. Okay, let's see. What gauge are my strings? KB asked. These are 8s. Suzanne got the bundle. It had 4 courses, same price. Now it has 6. Happy for everyone purchasing it. Well worth it. Thank you, Suzanne. Appreciate that. So the having those little chord progressions that I was doing there, if you play those kind of things, it just makes things sound complete within themselves. That's the whole beauty of arpeggios and using those different inversions. So like I can play something like this. What was I doing there? I did a D minor. Then this would be a B flat major. E diminished, A over C sharp, first inversion A major chord, first inversion G major chord, C minor, A flat major, D diminished, G major, C, F. To me, that is just absolutely beautiful, right? Just love the sound of that. Those different inversions there. That to me, it sounds like Bach, right? That's kind of what the whoa, I could go to D major, but go to D major there. Back and Bach, Bach and back. Like that's hard to say. Or you could hold each chord 2 times. You've heard me play this before. I did some inversions there at the end. That was the that exercise there is in my Quick Lessons Pro, I believe. It's in one of my courses here. The if you buy for $109, you get all 6 of my courses that has all these different things. My Arpeggio Masterclass, my ear training course, so you can hear how these things sound and be able to figure them out. Quick Lessons Pro has that thing in it. Music Theory for Songwriters. That's more of like how to create more interesting songs. Like what are things that you can add. My beginner guitar, if you don't play at all and you want to kind of start on your journey to learning. And then my my Beato book interactive. When I say interactive, it's that all the examples in there you can click on and it'll play the examples. You don't need to be able to read music or anything. It has tablature in it too, but being able to read music just in treble clef it's helpful for anything. And I would recommend that for anyone as a skill to have. I think it's a very important skill to be able to do. Is just to read the within the 5 lines of treble clef. You don't even need to know bass clef, although bass clef would be helpful too. So when I was a double agent here, Rick, I noticed Alex Lifeson approach in some of your playing. Is he someone you plan to interview? Nobody talks shop with him about his playing. You know, that is so true, double agent. That's why I want to interview Alex. And Alex, if you're out there, I want to interview you. You know, my brother John has played golf with Alex and said he's a great guy, which of course we already know that. All you have to do is listen to Rush's music and you know he's a great guy. I'm heavily influenced by Alex Lifeson. I've said it many times before. His chord work is something that I just love. I was on a Rush binge when I was home. My brother John and I drove around. I was home 2 weeks ago. I did a talk with Anthony Fantano at the University of Rochester. It was on my birthday 2 weeks ago when I turned 63. Woohoo! And for those 2 days, John and I were driving around our hometown, and we listened to Rush. And it's interesting when I said this actually when I was on stage. I was talking about the difference And the guitar sounds and the drum sounds of Hemispheres are amazing. Alex's guitar sounds are so good. And I think that Neil's drum sounds, those are some of his best drum sounds. I think they're better than Moving Pictures. I'm talking just the sonic quality of them. I think I think his snare sounds fuller, but the guitar sounds are just great. The way the guitar's mic'd, Alex's distortion on them, just absolutely beautiful. So that's anyways. So I sorry to digress about Alex, but I would really love to. I would love to interview Alex. I hope that happens this year. If I had to guess, I think that it's. I think that it's. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. Alex and Getty, love to interview both of them together. So these chord inversions, if you just take even basic bar chords, right, and if I take A major and then I go to, this is my first inversion chord. This is the most standard chord form, and that's your second version. And then you go up here to D. So this is root position, first inversion, which has the third and the bass. And then the next inversion would be up here. These are very useful to know. And why are they useful to know is because if you're chording for someone and you're trying to look for something that's a different sound, you're like, I'm so sick of playing these straight bar chords. That's different. So I went A, first inversion, second inversion, then I went to first inversion, D chord. So those are things that I learned years ago. If you go and watch my most complex pop song of all time video, how many of you have seen that? That's the best example. It's about the song "Never Gonna Let You Go," and the chord voicings. There's 22 key changes in that song, and the way that they put together the chord progressions and modulate is incredibly brilliant. You can really learn a lot from that song. And I have the lead sheet that I put the chord progression in the video as it's going along, and I play over that. And Pinto says every chord in the book. It pretty much has every chord in the book in it, but literally 22 modulations in there, 22 key changes. I got a note after I made that video. I made it years ago now, but I want to say it was the bass player from Sergio Mendez's band wrote to me or something like that and says, he says, Rick, I've been playing the song for 20 years and I still use a chart for it. And I was like, yeah, that totally makes sense. That's one that will test your memory. If you can play that, if you can remember that tune without a chart, you got a good memory. So one more time, Complete Beato Method on sale through this week, through Friday, next Friday at midnight, $109, all 6 of my courses. Arpeggio Masterclass, Beato Ear Training, Quick Lessons Pro, Music Theory for Songwriters, Beato Beginner Guitar, and my more intermediate thing is the Quick Lessons Pro course. That's all for now. You guys are awesome. Have a great rest of your weekend. Check out my video with Yosho Stefan if you haven't seen it yet. And look out for the Pearl Jam interview coming up later this week. See you guys. Take care.